Hi, Sandy here. Good morning. It's Christmas Eve 2017. I have a very, very busy day planned. I'm going to cook a few things for our dinner tomorrow on Christmas. And while I'm at it, I'm going to cook 19 meals for my freezer. So that'll take me a few hours, and then I can spend the rest of the evening, Christmas Eve, with my family. I started out... we have some apple cider. I put some cinnamon in it so we can have that during the day. My kitchen's a mess, but it won't be. I'm going to make some cookies and cream fluff. I've never done it before. I looked up the recipe on the internet. It takes Cool Whip, vanilla pudding, some milk, and some cookies. You're supposed to add some cream cheese, but I don't like that, so I'm not going to put it in there. I got some yams out because we're going to have those tomorrow. I don't like to do anything sweet on my yams. I just like them straight out of the can and heat it up. I'm going to make 4 batches of pasta sauce. I've got just regular pasta sauce, tomato sauce, tomato paste, and a can of tomatoes. I get this stuff from Aldi's, most of it, and a pound of ground beef. I buy these in the 10-pound tubes for like $1.99 a pound when they're on sale, and I freeze them in 1-pound things. They're, give or take, close to about a pound. So I'm going to make the 4 pasta sauce. And then I'm going to make 3 tater tot casseroles, which is you ground your ground beef and you layer it in a pan. You put 4 slices of cheese, or 6 slices of cheese on top. I like the deluxe cheese, not that other kind, whatever you want to use. And then you spread some cream of mushroom soup on top of that. And then you spread out some tater tots in a nice rows on top of that. Then I'm going to make, let's see, 3 tater tot casseroles. I'm going to make 4 batches of lasagna for the freezer. I got lasagna, mozzarella cheese, ricotta cheese, diced tomatoes. I make the sauce basically like my pasta sauce, and 4 pounds of ground beef. I'm also going to put my turkey in the roaster today. I'm going to make 3 I'm going to make 3 batches of Porcupine meatballs, which is ground beef, diced tomatoes, some onions. Oh, and I'll be adding onions to a lot of things. I've got a lot of diced onions. I dice them up and freeze them, and I've got 2 more of these in the freezer downstairs. So I'll be going through a lot of onions today. So I'm going to make the Porcupine meatballs. They have rice in them, and you make meatballs and bake them, and I'll be putting those in the freezer. I'm going to make 2 batches of sloppy joes. I'm going to make 3 batches of chili, which is, I use 2 cans of pinto beans or chili beans, and then 1 can of tomatoes and the ground beef and chili seasoning. So I'm going to make 3 batches of chili. I'm going to bake a pumpkin pie and a apple pie today for Christmas tomorrow. I'm going to bake some cornbread because I'm going to make cornbread stuffing. I'm going to make some hash brown casserole. So I got my hash browns here. I got 3 pans here. I'm going to get some of this ground beef going. Let's see. This will be for the sloppy joes. I got hot water ready. Hot dishwater ready. I don't have a dishwasher. I don't even want a dishwasher. I always keep hot water ready for doing the dishes. So that's for the sloppy joes. You just trembled. Are you too close? No. This is for the porcupine meatballs, which I'll have to bake. This is for the chili. 19 meals today I'm going to cook, plus several things for Christmas dinner. It's going to be a very busy morning. Plus, I have my timer going because I have laundry going. So every hour I go down and fold a load of laundry. I've got the first load in. Okay, so I got my ground beef in the pans. So this is for the 2 batches of sloppy joes. Put some onions in there. Oops. This is for the 3 porcupine meatballs. And this is and I also need to add some diced green peppers. See, I keep this stuff frozen. Diced up and frozen and ready to go. So much work. So that's for the chili. Okay. So I'll turn these on and get them cooking up. I'll have to put these pots. Come on, light. I got my window open because it's going to get hot in this kitchen today. We got a white Christmas. I'm so happy about that. It snowed last night. We live near Omaha, Nebraska. Okay. I'm going to start my fluff. I just got this about a month ago, and I'm really enjoying it. My KitchenAid mixer. I keep my beaters right here in the bowl ready and handy in a plastic bag to keep the dust off them. And I just used this yesterday, so it's not dusty. Okay. Now, so I didn't even copy a recipe. I just kind of memorized it. So you mix up your pudding. The vanilla, it's got to be instant pudding. It takes 2 cups of cold milk. The sun's pretty bright this morning. I hope it's not causing too much glare with the camera. Okay. So we're going to mix that up. My first time I used it, I didn't realize that you're supposed to... Oh, I got to plug it in. I didn't realize you're supposed to lock down this arm the first time I used it. Well, I gotta get this bowl off of here so I can unwrap the cord. Okay, lock it down and turn it on. I'm supposed to whip that up till it's kind of fluffy. Oh my God, I should have broken up my cooking stuff. So you're supposed to use 24 cookies. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. I'm going to add a couple extras. It seems kind of small. Okay. So Now I gotta break up the cookies. I've never made this before. I make water-based salad a lot, but we're gonna try this. The dog will get it. And I dropped a little piece on the floor. We don't pick up stuff off the floor because the dogs will get it. It won't take them long. They're good for something, I guess. They're outside at the moment, but they won't miss it. Okay. That was too fast.
Oh, you lost it.
Okay. I'm going to turn this off and put in the Cool Whip. The instructions said to whip it in very gently because you don't want to break down your Cool Whip, so I'm just going to whip it up very gently. That's good enough. Now I'm going to dump in the cookies. That was easy. Now, that's my old worn out Rubbermaid made a container, but it'll do. Uh-oh, didn't mix up really good. I guess I mixed up that Cool Whip so fast. It's alright. Now, stir that up a little bit. And you're supposed to chill it overnight, so that'll work out just fine for Christmas morning. Or Christmas dinner. Christmas morning, our tradition is I have a Mickey Mouse waffle maker. We have Mickey Mouse waffles for breakfast on Christmas morning. And I use banana nut waffle mix, or banana nut muffin mix. And I just made up a few packages several weeks ago. And they're all ready to go, so I don't even have to cook them. I just put them in the toaster oven. Excuse my mess, but it won't be a mess later today. So, we got those ready for our Christmas morning. Let's see. Let's go check on our ground beef. Last night, I took these 19 pounds of ground beef out of the deep freeze, and I took them out to our garage, which is insulated, but not heated, and it's a detached garage. And I put them in a plastic milk crate and let them sit all night to thaw. And they're partially thawed, but not completely thawed. And certainly didn't want to spoil, so that's just fine. So you can cook them frozen. Now my stove, these two are regular burners. This one is a fast burner for like boiling water. And then this one is a light slow burner for simmering. So this one's not cooking too fast, but that's okay. I've got plenty of time. So, I'm going to do a little cleanup and then we're going to get the turkey in the roaster. Turn it off. Ready? Okay, I'm back. I did some dishes, put the second load of laundry in the washer, and now I'm going to get my turkey roasting. I don't stuff it or anything. I used to stuff it, but I prefer my stuffing not to be so wet. So I'm not going to stuff it. So, get those gizzards out of there. I'll never forget my sister. She was married over 40 years ago. She's a few years older than me. When her first Thanksgiving, which was just weeks after she got married, she forgot to take the gizzards out of the turkey. I'm sure that's not the only one that's ever happened to. Okay. I don't know if you're supposed to wash the turkey or not, but I do it. Okay, we'll get that in the roaster. Dabs the water off of it.
Well, I guess it's
I'm going to smear a little butter on it. Oh my gosh, my pop-up timer almost came out. Okay. I'll get this in the roasting pan over here. Turn it on about 350, and that'll go for 4 or 5 hours. Now, I'll get my margarine back in the refrigerator. I'm going to preheat the oven to 400 degrees. Get this apple pie in there. I'm going to bake the apple pie and my cornbread at the same together because they both bake at 400 degrees. I do know how to make pies, but I think they're a lot of work. Where'd my scissors go?
I think they're in the water.
I put them in the water?
Oh, the flames.
I did. Okay.
Whoops.
I'm supposed to take a fork and loosen up this crumbly topping. I can hear our dog crying. She's got a lot of beagle in there. I don't know if she cries a lot. Okay. I'm going to raise this up again. One. I'll put that there. Now, I'm going to mix up my cornbread. Oop, got a shell in there. Yeah. Takes, got my Jiffy cornbread mix. I'm going to do 2 boxes. It takes 1 egg each and 1/3 of a cup of milk each. Spread that out some. Okay, I forgot to set my timer for my laundry. That was about 10 minutes ago. And then I got my other timer for my food, and this needs to cook for 15 to 20 minutes. I'll put it on 20. Put that in the oven. Now, I think my sloppy joe ground beef is ready to make. I'm going to open some cans and mix that up. We'll be back. Okay, I got my ground beef ready for my sloppy joes. I'm going to drain the fat off. I buy 80% ground beef, 80% lean ground beef. Never buy 73%. So I drain the fat off, and there'll be 19 pounds of ground beef I'll be draining. So this is ground beef and onions for my sloppy joes. And I've chopped it up the best I can, like it's small. Okay. And I save an ice cream bucket. I save my ice cream buckets for this. I have 2 cans of tomatoes here, and I already drained them and just temporarily put them in this container. So I'll stir that up. Let's get out of here, out of the sun. What's missing? I think I had some tomato sauce. cans of tomato sauce. Can of tomatoes, can of sauce, onions, and so put these in the 2 containers. And then later, all I have to do is heat it up for a meal, serve it on buns. A lot of people think of cooking for the freezer as in cooking for the month or cooking for the week, but not me. I just like to keep these things stocked up in the freezer for whenever I feel like having them. I don't think of them in any sort of time frame. So, they're never in there for more than 3 or 4 months because we eat them up. And I've put just some Scotch tape on the lid and wrote the date on it. So these are all done. So we'll be back for the next item when it's ready put together. Okay, I'm back. I said I was browning 3 pounds of ground beef to make porcupine meatballs, but you don't brown the beef first. So I put in another pound because I'm making 4 batches of spaghetti sauce. So here's 4 pounds of ground beef with some diced onions, and I'm draining the fat off. Put that back in the pan for a moment. Then I'm going to divide it into 4 equal amounts into these 4 containers. There's my timer. Let's see. Let me get this done. Kind of hard to judge sometimes. That one's definitely got more. Okay, that timer was for my cornbread, so I got to get it out of the oven. That's for my cornbread stuffing I'm going to make after a while. Let that cool. Still got pie bacon in there. Okay. So we're going to take one of these and put it in the pan. We're not going to cook it anymore. We're just going to mix it in there. I'm making 4 spaghetti sauce right now. So this is spaghetti sauce. I've taken all the labels off the cans because I recycled. They went in the paper recycling. So we'll put 1 can of spaghetti sauce in there. 1 can of tomatoes. 1 can of sauce. And 1 can of tomato paste. Okay. Stir that up really good. And about once a week we have either spaghetti or goulash, or maybe mascacholi once in a while. And all I gotta do is boil the pasta and heat up the sauce. And it's pretty easy. It saves me a lot of work. Okay, so then I'll pour that back into this container. Okay, that's nice. I recently bought these containers. This is my first time freezing in them. I used to freeze my sauce in these, and some of the lids were getting all cracked, and I got these from Walmart, and I will put tape on them and label them with the date and what it is. So I'm going to do this 3 more times and we'll get back to you. Okay, been in the kitchen over 2 hours now. I got my 3rd load of laundry in the washer. I got 2 sloppy joes done. Here's my 4 pasta sauce all done. Turkey's roasting. Got my cornbread done for the cornbread stuffing. I got the 3 pounds of ground beef with onions and green peppers, all cooked and browned, and I drained it. This is for the chili. So I'm going to put in for each 3 batches, for each batch, 2 cans of beans and 1 can of tomatoes. So sometimes I mix up 1 batch at a time like I did with the pasta sauce, but I happen to be using my big pan. So I'm going to put it all in here together, make 3 batches all in 1 pan, and I'm not going to cook it or simmer it or anything. I'll do that when I reheat it, when we have it for a meal. So I got 9 cans of stuff to put in here. Cover today. And I recycle. I'm big on recycling, so these will all go in the recycling bin. Okay, we'll stir that up real good. Okay, so I'll put this in the containers and we'll get back to you. Okay, I'm back. Excuse the noise from my vent fan. I'm boiling water for lasagna, and it kicked on, and it's automatic, and I can't turn it off. So I finished the chili. I got 3 batches of chili here. I forgot to mention I added 2 of these for seasoning. So I got the 3 chili, and I got my apple pie out. It's done. I got the pumpkin pie bacon in the oven now. I drained my ground beef. I'm going to make my 3 tater tot casseroles now. So I spread it evenly across the pan. And then I'll put 6 slices of cheese on each one like this. And I sprayed my pan with cooking oil so it doesn't stick. Okay, and then next is the cream of mushroom soup. And it's hard to spread. So I just put a glop on each piece of cheese. My chili, I forgot to mention, when I reheat it, I add half a can of tomato sauce to it. Tomato juice. Because I like it juicy. I like them. When I eat soup, I like a lot of broth in it, but I add some tomato tomato juice to it. Makes it go a little farther, and that's the way I like it. So I'm going to spread this out a little bit on each one. I'm not going to worry too much about getting it really good spread out. Need a little bit more on this one, I think. Now, if you try to spread it out on the hamburger, it's just going to move around and be a big mess. So I just worry about getting it spread out on the cheese. And then, this is the fun part. I'm just going to dump some tater tots in this one, just so they're easy for me to reach. And then I'm going to line them up in rows all the way across the top of the pan. So this will be completely covered with tater tots when I get done. I had to send my husband to the store to get another bag of tater tots, because I'll use a giant, like, I buy the giant bags, and we'll use like a bag and a half of it for three batches. So we'll get this done and we'll be back. Okay, I finished the tater tot casserole. There's how it looks. I'll bake it for about 30 to 45 minutes, and then I'll sprinkle some shredded cheese on top when it's done. Melt that, and then I cover it with a sheet of plastic wrap, and then a sheet of tin foil, and then I wrap it around a few times with plastic wrap, and then it's ready for the freezer. Okay, I'm back. I finished the tater tot casseroles, and now I'm moving on to porcupine meatballs. My ground beef looks a little bit odd because I've had it sitting on the back of the stove defrosting. It's very slightly cooked, but it's good. I drained the blood off of it. And then I got 3 cans of tomatoes, which I drained. I'm going to add 2 cans of tomato sauce. I'm going to add 2 eggs. I'm going to add some onions. This is maybe 2 full onions for 3 batches. We're making 3 batches. It might turn out to be 4 batches. It's got 3 pounds of ground beef. I crunched up some Cheez-It crackers to put those in there. I'm going to pour a whole box. This is a pound and 12 ounces. I'm going to pour a whole box of rice in there. I hope it'll fit. I got my biggest bowl. This is a big old classic Tupperware bowl. And then I'm going to add some seasoning salt. And some pepper. The last of these onions out of the bag. Okay. My hands are clean because I just did some dishes. So I'm going to mix it all together by hand. And be kind of careful because the bowl's pretty full. The good thing my onions have been thawing out, because usually it makes it hard because they're so freezing cold I have to keep warming up my hands, but it's okay today. Yeah, it's a little cold, but it's okay. Egg. Oh, I think that's looking pretty good. My hands are starting to get cold now from the onions because they were They're still ice cold, but they're not completely frozen. Cooking is such a challenge. I think I must enjoy it to want to spend my Christmas Eve cooking all day. I like getting a lot of things done in one day. So, that's going pretty good. Now, I'm going to roll these up to meatballs like this. Put them on a cookie sheet. And then I'm going to bake them and let them cool. And put them into Ziploc bags. And freeze them. And then when I serve them for dinner, I will dump them into a baking dish and pour some tomato juice over them, and that'll make them nice and moist, and while they're baking it'll soak up that tomato juice and they'll be moist and good. So I'm going to finish with this and we'll get back to you. Okay, I got my 5th load of laundry in the washer. It's my last load. My pie is done, my pumpkin pie. I'm baking my tater tot, or my porcupine meatballs right now. I'm making some hash brown casserole. It's kind of like the Cracker Barrels, but not quite. So I browned some onions in some margarine. I'm going to add some chicken broth. That was a whole can of chicken broth. I'm going to add about a cup of milk. I'm not going to measure, about that much. You can find a recipe for the Cracker Barrel hash brown casserole online. Okay, now I got my hash brown shredded hash browns. I've sprayed my dish with spray, non-stick spray. I'm going to pour half of these hash browns in there. I'm going to pour half of this on. Spread out them onions a little bit. Get away from the fire. Okay, and then I got a partial. You're supposed to use 2 cups of cheese, but I like to use more. I got a partial bag. I'm going to finish that off. I'm going to add most of this. Spread that out. Hard time getting a view? Okay. So I got my first layer of hash browns, some of the onions and broth, about half of the cheese I'm going to add, and I'm going to add the rest of the hash browns. I'm going to add some more cheese. I'm going to use about half of this second bag. Put the rest in the freezer. And then I'm going to pour this over the top with the onions. Mix that in a little bit. And then I have to bake it for 1 hour at about 350, I think. No, it says 425. So I'll have to bake it at 425, and then after 30 minutes I have to stir it up. So that's ready to bake. So I'm going to get ready to make my cornbread stuffing. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I've got my porcupine meatballs are baked and they're cooling off so that I can put them in bags. I've got my hash brown casserole baking. I just got it in the oven. I'm making my cornbread stuffing. I've browned some celery and onions in some butter. Well, it's not really browned, but it's softened. You're trembling. Are you?
I'm yawning.
And then I'm going to dump in a can of chicken broth. And then this is it looks kind of gross, but it's not. It's 2 beaten eggs with some sage. That's what looks gross, the sage. It's 2 tablespoons of sage and some salt and pepper. I just mixed it all together to save a step. So put that in there. And you don't really have to cook it anymore. Just stir it up. And pour that over your cornbread. And I got to mix that up real good. And then it will bake in the oven for 30 minutes. And I'll bake that after I bake my hash brown casserole. And the next thing I'm going to do is the for lasagna. That's work. I think making lasagna is a lot of work. Boiling them noodles and layering them in the pan, making the sauce. And that's my last thing on my list for today. So I've gotten a lot done. Come a long way. So, okay, there's my... It's kind of gross right now, soggy, but it'll be good after it's baked. So there's my cornbread stuffing ready to bake. So I'll put that aside for a while until the hash brown casserole is done. And I'm going to start working on the lasagna now, so I'll be back. Okay, cooking my last dish for today. I'm getting tired. I've been at it over 4 hours now. For 5 hours actually. I've got this pan here. I've got 4 cans of spaghetti sauce, 4 cans of tomatoes, 4 cans of tomato sauce, and 4 cans of tomato paste, and a tub of ricotta cheese in there. And then over here, I've got 4 pounds of ground beef and some onions ground and cooked, and I'm gonna dump it into here. And mix it up. And look in this bucket. This is a big ice cream bucket. That's how much grease I've gotten off of 19 pounds of hamburger. That's the 80% lean. So now we gotta stir this up. This will make 4 lasagnas. I've got 4 lasagna pans ready. I've got them sprayed with the cooking spray, so they don't, the non-stick spray. Gotta mix this up. I got some lasagna boiling in here. I'm cooking 6 noodles at a time. And then I take them out and put them in this bowl to cool, so they're easy to handle. So that's Samantha, my dog. I gotta see if she wants to come. Come on, Samantha. Down here, Samantha. Look at Samantha. That's one of our dogs, and she is always near me when I'm cooking. Always. She was laying here sleeping and snoring a couple hours ago. But she keeps the floor clean for me. Anything hits the floor, she'll take care of it. So she always hangs out with me when I'm cooking. She's my cooking buddy. Okay, this is about stirred up. That's a lot of sauce. Okay. Now, better get these noodles out of here. very easy, really.
Oh.
Hope you're not videotaping my back very much today. Okay, now I gotta get 6 more noodles in. One, two, open another box. I think lasagna is so much work, that's why I never make one batch at a time. Get it all done. 4, 5. Okay, we'll let that cook down some. I'm going to take a scoop of sauce. Put it in each of these pans. I actually need to break down some of this ground beef a little bit. I'm just going to swish it around and smooth it across the bottom. Get that sauce, meat covered in the sauce. Okay. Now, I use my scissors and cut this about 1/3 off it and then it fits right there, and then I can put that there, and then I'll cut 1/3 off of this one, and that'll fill in that gap, and that'll fill in that. Partial piece here, I'll save for the next layer. I used to try to put these directly on here. Oh man, it was hot. It was hard to do. So now I let them cool. I think my husband's watching sports. I could be wrong. Okay, now I'm going to take my shredded mozzarella cheese. Spread it out. A bag on each one. This one's the finely shredded, it doesn't matter. I buy just about any old brand, whatever's on sale. If I can get it for less than $2 a bag, I'll buy it. And I always buy a lot. Okay. Now, another cup of sauce for each one. tuck your noodles in real good so that they're in the moisture, because when you bake it, if they're sticking up without any sauce on them, then they'll dry out. My daughter's having a hard time getting in there to film, I can tell. Okay, so I'm gonna finish this up. I'm gonna end up with 3 layers of noodles and I think 4 layers of sauce. And sometimes I have too much sauce, but I'll make it work out. So we'll be back. Okay, I'm finally done cooking. I got the kitchen cleaned up. I have 51 cans to recycle. There's my recycling. My brother likes to take that out for me. I made 6 things for Christmas dinner tomorrow. There's our hash brown casserole. I moved it to a smaller bowl dish because it shrinks down as it cooks. There's our cornbread stuffing, fresh out of the oven. It's still hot. Here's our pumpkin pie and apple pie, all cooked. I'm going to put those in the refrigerator. Here's our fluff. It's still setting. I just took it out for a video. And here's the turkey. The timer popped up, so it's done. I still need to deal with that. That's one more thing I got to do. Okay, we'll go downstairs now. So I'm in my laundry room. I got 5 loads of laundry done and washed and folded. Here's my 4 lasagna, 3 tater tot casserole, 2 sloppy joes, 4 porcupine meatballs. They got a little crumbly, but I don't care. They taste the same. 3 chili and 4 pasta sauce. And I'm going to try to get them in the freezer, and hopefully my time don't run out on my camera. So let's see if we can do it. Come around here. So I'm going to stagger the lasagna and the tater tot casserole. There's lasagna. I think I need to get those other things on first, because these are not frozen yet. I don't want anything getting smooshed out. So, here's 2 pasta sauce. Two more. I'm going to put some frozen bread down there. Okay, now we'll put on chili. Are you watching what you're saying? Here's cookie dough.
It's freaking long looking.
Awesome. These containers work really nice in my freezer because I got dividers in there, and that's going to help a lot. Okay, so let's get the lasagna in there. And the tater tot casserole. Lasagna. Tater tot casserole. I'm staggering them because they're still not frozen. I don't want them smooshing the food out. just broke my cookies.
What?
I hope I can get everything in here. I'm just kind of iffy. Chili, sorry, those. Sloppy Joe in there, yes. Okay, I did it! Yay!